Yesterday in Atlanta, Georgia, a white man went into 3 different beauty salons, shot and killed 6 Asian American women. He's a self-proclaimed sex addict, said that the cause of his horrendous crimes was to put an end to the cause of his sexual addiction. Asian women. This man here shows exactly why the hypersexualization of Asian women is incredibly wrong and why yellow fever is not a compliment. If you don't recognize the direct correlation, you're choosing not to see it. When you fetishize a whole race, we are no longer people to you. We are merely outlets for your aggression and your sexual fulfillment. The rise in Asian American hate crimes has gone up over 100% since the rise of COVID. That is why we need to stop calling COVID-19. So go on, say their names. Delana Ashley Yuan, Paul Andre Michel, Xiao Zhe Yan, Dao Yufeng. Sure, call me triggered, but as long as my sisters are being killed because men can't help themselves, I won't be quiet.
So what happened in Atlanta is a prime example of how the fetishization of women, Asian women, leads to violence and death by white supremacy. It's not a compliment, it's not protection, it's not flattery, it's dehumanizing. And I noticed how a lot of people consume Asian media and Asian culture, even take it a step further to make it their personality on social media or real life or whatever. And how in my own content as an Asian person, I'm downplayed and invisible compared to my white peers on TikTok. So at the very least, you can help the Asian community boost awareness against the uptake of anti-Asian violence in our communities. And this is really important because white supremacy is emboldened by people choosing to remain quiet about issues, and more POC don't have to die in order for people to actually start taking action.
What infuriates me about this video is how confused he looks about having his fucking ass beat by an old lady. Specifically because that tells me that he was looking for an easy, defenseless target to vent his prejudices toward. So he picked an old lady who he thought would be easy prey. So when what he expected to happen didn't happen, namely that he didn't beat up an old woman, get away scot-free, and not have to worry about the fucking repercussions of being a racist asshole, and instead was carted away in a fucking stretcher, then all he could do was look confused. Some people really do believe they can do whatever the fuck they want, don't they? Well, newsflash, our elders are not your punching bags. And sooner or later, you're going to get what you deserve, one way or another.
I'm gonna try my very best to keep my cool while I'm talking about this out of respect, but we do need to talk about what happened in Atlanta today. There were 8 people shot and killed by a vile creature whose name that I'm not even gonna say, all because he had a bad day. And finding out his reasoning as to why he did it made me want to fucking scream, I'm not even gonna lie. The motive was not unknown, which is the narrative they're pushing right now. It's total bullshit. This was an anti-Asian hate crime, to be specific. Recently, there's been a pretty intense surge in anti-Asian hate crimes due to anti-Asian propaganda that has been put on the press by the media lately. I did make a post on Instagram detailing the names of the victims that have been disclosed so far. There are a few that have not been named yet, as well as a link to the AAPI community that you can use to help support them during this time. All I can do is ask that you listen to the Asian community and what they have to say and to speak up about it. And I'm not talking that yellow square bullshit, fuck you for even doing that. Actually speak up about it. It is our job to do what the media won't. You know that.
Media's been pussyfooting around this shit, so let's break down what actually fucking happened.
A white supremacist man went to 3 Asian-owned spas and killed 8 people, 6 of whom were Asian women, in an anti-Asian hate crime. This isn't just an anti-Asian hate crime, it's also a rampant and violent display of misogyny, because if you go to an Asian spa, massage parlor, fucking whatever, there will be Asian women there. Asian men typically don't work at those places. They just fucking don't. Asian, especially East and Southeast Asian women, are fetishized and infantilized, but our infantilization is not equivalent to that of white women. Our weakness does not incentivize protection, so we don't get the same damsel in distress narrative that they do. The childlike narrative of Asian women that is pushed by media, especially in porn in a pedocentric society, combined with their otherness or orientalness, paints Asian women as sex objects that can easily be taken advantage of. This blame on a sex addiction, which is straight up bro, just not true, takes away from the fact that he did target Asian-owned businesses. There's no poetry in hate crimes. Now calling this a hate crime is white supremacy.